Hey guys, Sublord here, back again with another action figure review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Masters of the Universe Origins Cartoon Collection Ram Man. Brought to us by the fine folks over at Mattel, and while this may be the local friend who shall not be named for privacy reasons favorite Masters of the Universe character, it is far from your boy Overlord Productions' favorite Masters of the Universe character. That title goes to Scareglow because obvious reasons. But I always thought Ram Man, especially in the vintage days, whether it was the vintage toy or the Filmation series or what have you, kind of sucked. I didn't think he was awesome until 2000X, where they made him a freaking tank, which I thought 2000X made all the MOTU characters better, but I am biased, aren't I? That's the He-Man I grew up with. It's always going to be He-Man to me, but I get that people love their Filmation, so I'll try to treat it with as much respect and dignity as I possibly can, despite all the innuendos throughout the series. So, with that being said, it's time now that we cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review and take a look see at all a Ram Man has to offer in terms of accessories, starting off with a mini comic. Mini comic for this wave. It's even got the pamphlets and a little flyer on the back with other figures you can waste your life savings on. Good times. Other than that, he does come with the Shapoopy mask or Shakoti mask, and I'm kind of curious if we're gonna get this figure or character in this line. We should. I mean, we got freaking Koldar, and cares about him. I gotta tell you though, despite the whack-doodle campiness of it all, I do actually really like the Shakoti two-parter from Filmation Masters. I think it's one of the better episodes, couple episodes in the series, and Shakoti and Lord Mask were awesome villains, despite the fact that I'm more biased towards old Boneface or Snorty McSnorterson Hordak there. That said, if you have the Geldor from Mattel Creations, he came with this axe. This is the Ram Man axe in like a more of a matte gray. It does fit in his left hand, like so. And I'm actually going to display mine with this because I want my Ram Man to have an axe, dang it. So there you go. Taking a closer look at this Ram Man. I'm not a fan of the hard plastic armor. It's like made of the same material as that axe, so it's kind of weird. We're going to leave that off to the side. He is kind of ripped. Feels like he's got more sculpted detail than the Origins one. In fact, I think he does. I think the Origins one's just kind of like tubes for arms. This guy's got like straight bicep, shoulder muscles, and forearm muscles. It's great. I love it. So you could easily swap these arms onto the Origins one, and bada bing, bada boom, you're off to the races. But as far as articulation on this guy goes, he actually gets a decent amount of range in the head. You can shift like a pile driver, and then you can lift his head up that far, down that far. He can tilt and rotate side to side. He also has shoulders that will move out to the side. About that far. 90 degrees, not bad. Even with the armor, I think he can move him pretty well. Full 360. Single jointed elbow with rotation. Swivel at the wrist with a hinge. Inappropriate for holding stuff, but it's the norm of this line. Waist twist works fine. Hindered by the belt a little bit. Hips will kick forward and back somewhat. It's a little tricky with the belt, but it is doable. Just gotta kind of push it a little bit, and then he can't really do the splits either. So his hips are like the most limited thing on him, because he does have swivel at the knee with a hinge. That is kind of tricky to use. I recommend coming at it from the back. That's what she said. And pushing in on that sucker. That way you get the full range. But it is like a detented knee. I will say this was rather tight when I first opened this guy, so, be mindful of that. You get about 90 out of it, though. Really wish these legs were on the Masterverse version. I don't care for the weird rubber pants thing he's got going on. Mine has held up okay, I guess, knock on wood. Even though the rubber pieces kind of came off mine, the glue came undone. Might just have to re-glue that on. But they're not all cracked and deteriorated junk like some people's. But they're far from perfect, we'll say that much. He's got a boot swivel, and it actually rotates at the boot cuff, which makes sense. And he also has a hinge in the foot with a rocker, and peg holes at the bottom of the feet, but he's got big stumpy feet. You don't really got to worry about that. But yeah, excellent figure. Excellent, excellent figure. Way better than the regular Origins. I could see a lot of people doubling up on this guy and trying to make a more traditional vintage style Ram Man with the Origins figure. I myself, not sure if I'm going to do that or not, but I wouldn't put it past a lot of people out there to double up on this guy and maybe make this guy go up in value on the secondary market, because he is a very, very nice Ram Man figure. And if you have the Filmation classics from the Mattel days or the Super 7 days, I think he would fit quite nicely in with those, because he was a midget in the series, but compared to his fellow cartoon collection wave mates, not so much. So why don't we move right along and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here is good old Ram Man alongside the other characters available in this, well, not exactly current, but particular wave of cartoon collection figures. We have She-Ra, and Mantenna, a personal favorite of mine. And as you can see, I think they scale quite nicely. Ram Man, probably not as short as he should be, but I never liked him as a midget anyways. I thought that was kind of, well, stupid. So getting these two out of the way, so we can make way for our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulas. Dropping his mace as usual. And the infamous 11 Spawn, who as usual towers over everyone because he is not a 5.5-inch figure. So with that being said, time to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and I'm going to stand by my previous statement in saying that this version of good old Ram Man completely and utterly whips the crap out of the previous Origins offering of the character from way back in, was it 2021? If I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, if you got 20 bucks to, you know, spend frivolously, definitely check this guy out. However, before we wrap this review up, I do have to unfortunately end this video on a somber note, because I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the passing of good old John Irwin, the voice of the most powerful man in the universe himself, He-Man, from the original Filmation series. And while I will fully admit that I never viewed John Irwin as my He-Man, most people who know me know that I'm a much younger Masters fan, so Cam Clark was my He-Man in the 2000X Mike Young Productions days. But I do understand that a lot of people love John Irwin as He-Man. That's their He-Man. I get it. Even my girlfriend's He-Man, for crying out loud. So I get it. I understand that it is a big punch right in the gut to the Masters community, and I feel for all of you and his friends and family. So rest in peace, John Irwin. Rest in peace. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later.